In this video, we are going to discuss the timing diagram of 8085. While we are drawing the timing diagram of an instruction of 8085, the first machine cycle is always an opcode fetch cycle. Then we may or may not have read cycles, write cycles, or both, or we may also have some wait states. Each of these cycles are called machine cycles. Each machine cycle is a combination of some T states, and the entire combination of the opcode fetch cycle and other cycles, if they are there, it's called an instruction cycle. The first machine cycle, as we have already seen, will be an opcode fetch cycle, and this opcode fetch cycle has either 4 T states or in few cases up to 6 T states also. In this case, the opcode fetch cycle only has 4 T states: T1, T2, T3 and T4. Now let's see what are the values in each of these signals which are shown here. First, let's discuss the multiplex address and data bus, that is AD0 to AD7. In the first T state, these 8 lines will have the lower order address from the program counter, and in T2 and T3 T states it will have the opcode of the instruction. In between this space and here, these 8 lines are actually in high impedance state. The higher order address bus will have the 8 MSBs from the program counter, and it will be valid up to just after T3. After that, the content is unspecified. Now, as AD0 to AD7 are multiplexed address bus, we have an ALE pin which will latch the address. As AD0 to AD7 contain addresses during T1, so ALE should be high during T1, and for the rest of the time it should be low. As the instructions are fetched from memory, the content of IOM bar should be 0, meaning that it is for memory. And as it is an opcode fetch cycle, S1 and S0 both should be 1. Opcode fetch is actually a read cycle, as an instruction is transferred from memory to the processor. So that's why the RD bar signal will be low here. In this case, opcode is available during T2 and T3. So RD bar should also be low during T2 and T3 so that the opcode can be read from the memory. This diagram shows a memory read cycle. Now, memory read cycle or memory write cycle or IO read cycle or IO write cycle, all of these take 3 T states. And just like the opcode fetch machine cycle, AD0 to AD7 will contain address in T1, and now it will contain data between T2 and T3 T states. ALE will be high during T1 only. As it is a memory read operation, the IO M bar signal will be 0. If it's an IO read, then in that case this signal will be 1. And the two status lines S1 and S0, the value will be 1 and 0 for memory read operation. S1 will be 1 and S0 will be 0. RD bar in this case will be low, as this is a read operation. So whether it is memory read or IO read operation, the RD bar should be low during T2 and T3. MRD bar, that is the memory read bar, is actually a combination of both RD bar and IOM bar. And this is the combined signal that is shown here. So memory read bar should be low here. This diagram shows a memory write cycle. So everything we have discussed in memory read cycle is same here. The differences here are that the value of S1 and S0 now has become 0 and 1. In memory read it was 1 0, for write it is 0 1. Also, the WR bar signal here will be low, meaning that this is a memory write operation. Also, IOMbar is low. It means that it's a memory operation. If it's an IO write operation, then IOMbar signal will be high. Now, as we have seen how to draw the opcode fetch cycle and memory read, memory write, or IO read, IO write cycles, let's see how to draw the timing diagram of an instruction. So the timing diagram of an instruction is just a combination of all these three timing diagrams that we have discussed. So to draw a timing diagram, we must know what the instruction does. And if we know that, then we can say that how many read cycles or how many write cycles are there, or there may not be any read or write cycles. Suppose the instruction move A comma B. Here only a register to register transfer is there. So only opcode fetch machine cycle is required. No read cycle or write cycle is required here. So the number of teach states here will be only 4. Whereas for move A comma M instruction, we require an opcode fetch machine cycle. Also, as the data will be transferred from memory to the processor, there will be one read cycle also. So we'll have 4 plus 3, that is 7 T states. For the instruction STA 8000, the first machine cycle is an opcode fetch machine cycle. Now this address is now in the memory. So this address has to be transferred to the microprocessor. So as this is a 16-bit memory, it will require 2 read cycles. And after that, the content of the accumulator will be transferred to location 8000. So there will be one write cycle. So total number of T states here is 13. And for LDA instruction, same if we write LDA 8000, then opcode fetch 2 reads. First it will read this, then it will read this, and then LDA means the content of the memory location 8000 will be transferred to accumulator. So one more read cycle will be there. These 2 read cycles are for reading the location, and the third read cycle is for transferring the content from 8000 location to the accumulator. Here also the number of T states is 13. For call instruction, first will be the opcode fetch cycle. Now, as the call instruction requires storing of the content of program counter in the stack, it requires 6 T states in its opcode fetch cycle. And after that, it will have 2 read cycles to read the address, and it will require 2 write cycle to store the content of the program counter in the stack. As the address of the program counter is of 16-bit, that's why 2 write cycles are required. If we calculate the total number of T states here, it will be 18. This is the highest number of T states that an instruction can have in 8085. Let's discuss one more instruction, INR M. That is, the content of the memory location will be incremented by 1. So first we will have an opcode fetch cycle, then the content from the memory should be transferred to the processor so that it can be incremented. So one read cycle, and after the increment, the incremented data has to be transferred back to that same memory location. So one write cycle. So if you know how many read and write cycles are there in an instruction and how many T states are there in an opcode fetch machine cycle, you can draw the timing diagram of that specific instruction. Here we end the lecture for 8085 timing diagram.